Frankie and Tommy here. Yesterday's show starts with the world's worst job listing. Then John financially uppercuts himself.
Jimmy apparently is looking for some new work. A company called Joy. They are looking for masturbation consultants.
That job posting makes LinkedIn feel like the creepy uncle at Thanksgiving who brought his own lotion.
True story, not making shit up. Nope. I think it's $2,000 a month to jerk off into the cup using an app.
That app better have dark mode, because nobody wants performance reviews from a glowing rectangle.
And it'll help them maybe grow their business. Spectacle.
Dude, you know what I did fucking yesterday?
Tell me.
God damn it. I'm still fucking having, I'm reframing this and then it comes back to get me. Reframe it, comes back to get me.
Yes.
So, you know, I've got a gambler in me, right?
Uh-oh.
So, you know, I'm always having fun because I like to gamble. It's fun, right? But I have to do it in environments that I can somewhat stay controlled, you know?
Yes.
In a casino, there's something about that. It's just the smell of it makes me want to do bad things.
Casino smell is Febreze, cigarettes, and one guy whispering, baby, rent money is just emotional.
You know, I walk in a casino, I can just smell the evil, you know? Anyway, so I play options, right?
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
Yesterday, god damn it, I just wasn't fucking paying close enough attention. I closed out some fucking options.
Uh-oh.
And I made $5 grand.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
problem.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Closed them out.
Yeah.
It was probably 30 minutes before close.
Yes.
And I even went back to fucking. Usually when I close, I'll actually close that the actual chart. So it's like, okay, I'm putting that behind me.
Yeah.
Fuck. The place that I got the fucking tip from, I get a fucking message. Hey, you get this shit? I'm like, oh fuck, what happened? So I go and I look. I closed it out one fucking day before I thought earnings were.
Oh. So
I missed a fucking 12-pounder.
He made $5 grand and still looks like Robin Hood stole his pants during a job interview.
That would have been from 5 to what, 60 something.
yeah.
All because all I had to do was look down and realize that the fucking earnings were in about 30 minutes.
Lost track of the day.
Like, you dumb fuck. God damn it.
That is every man discovering the sale ended yesterday, except 55 grand got body slammed.
I've been stewing on that motherfucker. God damn it. But you know, the frame is I still made $5 grand. Fuck, what are you gonna
Oh, it's funny, right? Because my investor every now, so I play options and puts too. Every now and then he'll send me a text like, hey, dude, take it off the table. All of a sudden, $3,600 here, $5,000. You know, this is Mornings in the Lab with Paul and John.
Keith got renamed as a guest, like someone moved his desk beside the printer.
I'm your guest, Keith Billis. Paul and John are having a great time.
Forgive me. I've been training for 47 years. I think, oh, fuck, here comes another savage.
John heard new guest and immediately pictured a feral gym goblin asking for trap supersets.
You know? I wasn't expecting. I'd take 2 to 3 weeks off. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Where does this? That doesn't belong in 47 years of training.
I'm not like that.
Paul is backing away like the treadmill. Just asked for his blood type and emergency contact.
First of all, I'm a night owl, so you know, trying to be competitive like people like you is not something I can do. I have
Paul,
to
you're
go.
awesome, man. Paul,
Well, my brother, I'm not wanting you to be like me. I'm just saying you explained the magic of physical fitness, physical, mental, emotional fitness. You explained the whole. Most people think it's here. This is the last in line of what it's all about.
That one hurt. Everybody wants beach abs before fixing the raccoon living in their brain.
That's just the outcome. Yeah.
Here's the first thing. So to not take care of this every day, especially when you're a father, when you're a better father when you do it, correct?
Oh yeah, but there are other ways that I can get just enough to not go bonkers. You know, like I can get in the water.
Paul brought up water, and John immediately turned the pool into a punishment menu.
You just summed it up just enough. That's just, I guess.
Hey, Paul, did you know what you're getting yourself into when you joined the show today? You're like, I'm not sure. You do okay right now?
Keith checked on Paul like the interview briefly became a hostage video with vitamins.
I'm doing fine.
Hey, I see that our boy's got a new shirt with Cheryl's head on it. I don't know what it said, but I see Cheryl's face is on somebody's t-shirt this morning. Hey, Paul, so men our age, 47, 50, 55, 60, as we get older, we decide not to go to the doctor, or we don't go as often as we should, or we're like, well, I'll do it later. Talk about that, my brother.
Men hear doctor and suddenly trust a noise in their chest like it's a weather app.
Let's create some awareness around that for our generation. Yeah, I'm with you, Sully. Sully's comment says, I enjoy the Kindness Rising show. It sets the compass in a calm, positive direction. I agree. True story. Yeah. It's a great calm way to start your day with Matt Roof, 7:30, right here on the Live Authority Network. We call Mornings in the Lab. Keith Jon and friends. Just going to get some notes here in front of me to get the show rocking and rolling here with you guys on our morning focus. If you guys tuning in a little bit late here, Paul Zubauer and John Anderson got after it for a great conversation today. Peptides, longevity, strength training, aging, etc., etc. So if you missed that one, I invite you guys to go back and listen to that one. Okay, hey, listen, your hustle is often just fear wearing a hoodie.
Fear wearing a hoodie is every guy answering emails at midnight like cholesterol respects deadlines.
Is it that favorite hoodie? You know that hustle. It's often just it's hustle, hustle, hustle. And I know that statement might sound harsh. It might sound harsh, but here's the thing. Some things should sound harsh because hustle has become one of those words people use to avoid telling the truth. Think about this for a second. Ears up with what I'm going to say next. I'm hustling. I'm grinding. I'm building. I'm locked in. All these things we say. I'm in the season, somebody might say. Or I'm just doing what it takes, my head down. And you know what? Here's the thing. I know sometimes it's true. And sometimes there really is a season where you have to push. You got to build the thing. You got to make the calls.
If you want more bad decisions with coffee breath, watch the previous episode. Nation, nobody wakes up and says, today I'm gonna believe some premium grade horse shit.
It happens slower than that.
A headline tickles your anger. A video flatters your suspicion. And before lunch, you're defending BS like it pays your mortgage.
Today, we're cleaning out the mental junk drawer.
Only on Mornings in the Lab.
Good morning, nation. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith Jon and friends. Your live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and big conversations. Hey, Jimmy, you got a choice in life, no dick or a dick growing on your arm. What are you choosing? Hey, did you guys know that you guys can lose your memory after going for a dump? Yeah, I learned that from Kai this morning. I'm the junior dinosaur. I'm the little T-Rex with the little arms. Yeah, there you go. Dwayne is absolutely a baby boomer. Dr. John's the bullshit professor. Kai's the shit professor. Brianna, you're always teaching me, man, every single Tuesday. Nation, you will not find this kind of knowledge anywhere on the planet to start your day other than Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Boo, 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 boo. Hey, smart men believe dumb things all the time. Yeah, just like you, just like me. Not because they're stupid. Good morning, Whitaker. Good morning, Rico. My two boomers are in the lab. No, smart men. Well, we believe dumb things because their ego, well, they hire a lawyer. We're having that conversation today with Dr. Jon Petrocelli on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Good morning, everybody. I'm the Handsome Chief. Welcome back to the big show we call Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. We get up and after it every single Monday through Friday live right here on the Mornings.live network. Hey, we got a big guest coming up on the show here today. We got Jamie Mocrazy. She became the first female skier to land a double backflip in a competition at the Winter X Games, and 2 years later, a crash in Whistler nearly ended her life. Jamie's jumping into the show at the bottom of the hour. We're going to have some fun welcoming Jamie to the lab to hang out with myself and John Anderson this morning. Good morning, everybody. What a shaken nation. We're coming up to the end of the week. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. If you are lurking in the shadows, we'd love to hear from you. Come drop a comment. Come say hello. Come subscribe to our YouTube channel and come give me a heads up here in the comments. Hey, we got a daily poll over on mornings.live. The daily poll is, what's the hardest area of your life you like to admit? Yes, what is the hardest? Boy, the first words out of my mouth this morning are stumbling. Hey, so what's the hardest area of your life you'd like to admit you're wrong in? Arguing with your spouse, decisions at work, or debates about politics? Yes, what's the hardest area? It's a good question. So when somebody says you're wrong, like, what is it usually in? I'm thinking with Johnny, it's probably everything. Yeah, there you go. Good morning, Whitaker. Good to see you this morning in the lab here. And then, hey, today's daily question, what is the most stubborn opinion you used to hold now that you realize was completely wrong? What is the most stubborn opinion that you used to hold that you now realize you were completely wrong? Good morning, Jess of the U. Good to have you this morning in the lab here. Good to have you this morning. So guys, what is it? What's the most stubborn opinion? What is it? And hey, if you guys have been snoozing since the top of the year, you know where you're at. You are now 22 some odd hours behind. And yeah, we're going to be hitting 24 hours probably next week or the week after. One full day behind. It's not lost upon me. We're coming up to the top of the second half of the year, and somebody is actually laying there for an entire day. Think about that. I don't think we did the math, Jimmy, at the top of the year, but somebody started their January by hitting the snooze button. It's now June. They've lost an entire day of their year. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Dwayne Whitaker is coming in and is answering the daily question. What's the most stubborn opinion you used to hold that you now realize was completely wrong? And Dwayne says, always right. You know, I got to be honest with you. I'm sure there's a lot of men that have that same thing. And, you know, and Johnny and I have talked about it before, which is that idea of I don't want to be right. I just want the right result. Right. And I guess that's something probably I've learned, too, as a man growing up. I know now when I think about it back probably my 30s and 40s and growing ICUC, and, you know, maybe my ego got a little bigger than it needed to be. There are certainly times that I would say to you that, yes, I probably was acting more right than I thought I was. Good morning, Pat Martin. Yes, where are you joining me from, Martin Pat, or Payte Martin? Where are you joining me from this morning? Mornings. Welcome to the Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. We got John Anderson joining me here in a few moments. And hey, guys, yes, Jimmy, there we go. There's the mornings. There's a daily question. What is it? What's the most? Hey, Pat, what's the most stubborn opinion you used to hold? What is it? And hey, what about you, Rico? And what about you, Cheryl? Cheryl and Dwayne might be connected. I'm wondering. So Cheryl's probably like saying, I'm always right. Yes, they probably have like that flipping board in their house, which is they're right, that right, who's right all the time. And yes, I'm with you, Dwayne. I just want to be happy rather than right. All right, we got a bunch of crazy topics on the show here today. We got Kai on the buttons. It's my mom, Keith. We are in Kentucky. Oh, there you go. Awesome. Hold on a second here. Oh, there you go. Okay, very cool. We got Jess and we got Jess's mom, I think, in the lab with us this morning. It's a family affair. joining myself and Johnny this morning. And of course, Jamie Mo Crazy. So Jamie was supposed to have been here on Monday, but there's a little bit of a wrinkle in the schedule. So instead, we had our brother from the other mother, Dwayne Whitaker, hang out with us on Monday. So Jamie's going to be here today. Looking forward to that conversation coming up this morning. All right, I got a bunch of things. I got to start this one with some sadness, unfortunately, and I want to dig. So there's sadness for the two stories today, and I promised myself when I started the show it wasn't going to be a show about sadness and negative stuff. But the reality is, guys, we do the show daily. It's current events, it's conversation and content for the generation we call next, and which is you, me, and all of us around us. And two figures. It's been sad news in the world here in the last 10 days. And yesterday, Claude Lemieux. Anybody growing up watching, playing, engaging with, paying attention to hockey, for a period of time, Claude Lemieux was. Thank you, Jimmy, for that one. Claude Lemieux passed yesterday, and what's really striking about this, and this one really, this, I'm just gonna say, this one fucking bugs me. It really bothers me. It's and I don't mean that in a hard and negative way. It makes me sad. Guy's 60 years old. Was in Montreal on the weekend at the Canadiens game. As you guys may or may not know, Montreal is making their way to the Stanley Cup Finals, and he was celebrating the event on Saturday. And then yesterday, we received some tragic news that Claude Lemieux passed. So to those of you that are of my generation, growing up watching hockey, I know Petro knows, Claude was a fierce competitor. He was very, very enjoyable to watch on the ice, and he unfortunately, allegedly, took his own life, which again makes it really sad. So Claude Lemieux, gone too long, 60 years old. Jesus Murphy, man. That's way too effing just too. The last few weeks we've had sadness, but I've also promised this. This is the show for our generation. So we're going to lean into what's happened. We're going to lean into what's happening, and we're going to lean into what's going to happen on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. And then moving, Jimmy, I know we got a Kyle Busch story as well. We know that Kyle passed last week, and I'm learning a ton of this one. I'm learning a ton on this one about sepsis. And Kai, do we have if we have a button on this one, let's run it. If not, then let's just I'm going to keep the conversation going on this one, because this is another one that really bothers me. And thanks, Jimmy. It's I'm just looking for my notes here. Yeah, so Kyle Busch death certificate says he died after bacterial pneumonia led to sepsis, and apparently it was kicking around his body for days to weeks. Murphy, yes, Petro, I see that, man. Claude Lemieux will forever be happy. Dude, I'm with you. Yeah, there was only one Claude Lemieux. There really was, and really, really sad of the age and sad of how it all happened. But yeah, so Kyle Busch died at 41, bacterial pneumonia. This one freaks me out because these symptoms have been kicking around for days to weeks before his condition worsened, and then he passed at a similar in Concord 9 days ago. So I just wanted to close the loop on that one, because we have been talking about that one for a while. And more than anything, guys, yesterday we were talking about going to the doctor and health scares. Any of us right now, if there's anything to put on the table, maybe mentally, let's just go there right now, guys. If mentally, we have got the Claude Lemieux story. Physically, we got the Kyle Busch story. So gentlemen, please, I love you all. From peer to peer, from brother to brother, if there's something off, one of two things, and I'm serious because I've offered this before. Something going on, send me a text, man. I've had men before say, hey, dude, I feel like there's a safe space and I can talk to you. And I got guys who text me and offer shit up. So there's your morning awareness lesson, guys. Mentally or physically, if shit's off, please go take care of it. Go check it out. At the very least, come hang out with us. 431-300-3005 or send me. Yeah, 431-300-3005. We'll get you connected to me. And I certainly am no therapist, but I got a couple good ears that would love to listen. All right. Listen, I put those two out there. We're going to get the show on the road with something that we call the Morning Loop.
Good morning, nation. Yesterday, Chief said Paul and John were going to have a great conversation.
And he was right. He was so right. That conversation went well.
Paul walked in thinking he was here for a nice health conversation. Cute mistake.
John heard one opening and started sharpening questions, like he was preparing evidence.
That's not rude. That's just how John says, welcome to the family,
Now defend yourself.
It's okay, Paul. Preston and Sterling get humbled by John so often, HR calls it team development.
At this point, getting publicly cooked by John is basically the MyTL onboarding process. So grab your coffee, protect your ego, and keep your answers tight, and let's see how today's conversation will go. Let's start the morning loop.
Hi, there we go. We got Dr. John Petrocelli joining myself and John in about 49 minutes or so. Going to jump in here at the top of the second hour. Why men believe things that aren't true. Yes. Why do we, guys? Why do we? And then secondly, Petro doesn't know this. So his ears just like, oh, what don't I know? So Keith, Jon, and Petro are going to do a little interview this morning on the show here as well. I'm going to launch a brand new Origins campaign. Again, Petro doesn't know this either. I'm doing an Origins campaign with some of the folks here within the network. And Petro would love to have you a part of it. I'm talking right now live on the show. It's going to launch on June 1st. It's called Origins, and it's about where you're from, and it's about you and the place you're from. It's going to drop on June. So you guys are going to hear some questions dropping with us in the second hour. I'm going to do a little roundtable interview with Johnny, Petro, along as myself, as we lean into why men believe things that aren't true. Plus, we're going to do a little bit of an interview roundtable so I can grab the transcript so I can create some great content for Keith and Jon Petrocelli. Pat Martin says for you. Oh, I used to think, Jess says, I used to think picking my nose was bad, but now I know better. Thanks for giving me the confidence to pick without shame. What's wrong with picking your nose? Sometimes just got to pick. Yeah. And then we got Pat Martin says, for years, men have been told they were weak to go to the doctor. And that was how it was. True story. Absolutely. And yesterday we got on the show here and said, guys, listen, mentally or physically, go take care of it. And today's news with Kyle Busch as well as Claude Lemieux, I think suggested that's the case. All right, he's patiently waiting. His name is John Anderson. Let's bring him into the lab and get the show on the road. You're actually a simulator.
That was creative though. I'll take it.
That's fucking right. I thought you were on the racetrack, and then
I did too. I bought that hook, line, and sinker.
Change the scene, and you're in the simulator, brother. How the hell are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you. Yeah. So before we get into it, as per our voicemail exchange yesterday, you, me, and Petro, we're going to have a little round table in the second hour. We're going to dig into our topic of the morning, and then we're going to have some fun and go around the table and have some interviews amongst the three of us.
I purposely didn't read the questions.
Good. That a boy.
That's the way it should be. You shouldn't.
I agree.
Any pussy that wants the questions before an interview, that's not an interview.
Dude, I agree with you, man. I'm with you. You know what? Come to think of it, neither did I. I've been copying and pasting them for everybody else, but I don't even remember. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. So that'll be fun. We'll do that. We'll have that conversation coming up in the second hour. What's new? What's happened in your world in the last 22 hours?
Let's see here. Good question. Tara's got another flying lesson today.
Oh, no, hold on. Johnny's visa is getting charged today.
Yeah. You know, the lessons aren't really that bad when you're chipping off one by one. So you got to do fucking 60 of these things.
Yes.
That's where the problem arises. You know?
So when she goes, where does she go? Like, is it like how far from where in the neighborhood is like the neighborhood? Like, how far is the airport?
I think the one that she's going to is about probably 30 minutes away.
Okay.
We have one that's like literally like fucking 5. I swear to God, if you got on a roof, you could probably see one of the hangars.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's real fucking close, but it's a real little airport. I got to go see it. As I understand it, it's they have hangars, and I don't know. You never know until people talk. Just they say this, say that. I want to see it myself, but they say the hangars aren't very well maintained.
Okay.
But I mean, fuck, how hard is it to maintain a fucking building?
The warehouse with
that's what I mean. I mean, the roofs are going to fall on your plane. Come on. I mean, did somebody let it go that bad?
Well, yeah, right? Somebody let it go that bad. Yeah. Hey, you got a little bit of blur there. If you want to get up and stick your finger in the lens, that would be super
My
helpful.
fucking camera I got a new camera, actually. Ben's got me a new camera. We got to put it on. This other one's fucking acting up. Hold on. I just got to go.
Yeah.
Move it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Johnny does that. So guys, I'm not a roller coaster rider at all. And I know I've talked with John a little bit about this before, and I don't think he is as well, but man, Jimmy, Kai, let's put this on the screen, man. If you were riding a roller coaster in, I gotta pull this up here. It was in, is it North Carolina? So Texas, I think it was. Hold on, I want to make sure I get it right before I give you guys. Yes, in Houston. My Lord. So this roller coaster was stuck this way on the board there. Johnny, let's bring Johnny back up here. John. So, dude, could you imagine being stuck like that? Like actually, and 100 feet up.
So it looks like it went over the edge.
Yes.
Now, are the people facing the sky or the ground?
No, they're facing the ground.
Oh, fuck. I'd rather be facing the sky.
Yeah, actually, right?
You're like, at least you're being sucked into your chair. Now that harness or whatever the fuck you're wearing is just choking you.
That's holding down. Yeah, that's that is not that would not be that'd be kind of freaky, man. I wouldn't.
Where is that? Texas?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. I got it wrong, Johnny. No, faced upwards.
Oh, lucky them.
Yeah. Yes, because 4 hours they were sitting there.
Oh,
so basically just sitting back in your chair. That's not that bad then.
Yeah. That's in Texas?
Yeah, in Houston.
Looks it's right on the, like, you can see water right behind him.
Yeah. There must be Galveston's Pleasure Pier. Yeah, there's a right on the water there in Galveston. There's a pier there. So, all right, listen, I love looking at things like this with you because I grew up with this, and I know you did as well, dude. Epic spot. Help me. This guy's physique, Arnold Classic, Jimmy or Kyle. Let's run this, man. I'm sure you've seen this. I'm sure. I think he won.
Nick Walker.
Holy shit, Johnny.
Yeah, the complaint with him is look at his midsection. So it's fine now, but if you watch it closely, he'll lose control, and his midsection will become very, very large compared to as other parts of his physique. He hasn't done it yet. It's usually from the front. From the side, he looks fucking great. I mean, he's a beast. I'm not trying to. We're just critiquing one of the world.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm learning because you're
top 5, top 6 guy.
Yeah, because you're teaching.
There you go. Got a little. See how the side went out. If you go back a little bit, you can see it just like literally like.
Oh, yes, I know exactly what you mean. Yes,
right when he turns around.
Dude, I haven't I take interest in this. So when I saw
if he turns his back to us again, right when he turns and he starts setting up, he's gonna lose it.
Oh yeah,
right there. See how big it got? See it? See that right there?
Holy shit! Yes.
Yeah.
So what is that?
So sometimes he'll do that when he's walking towards you, and his midsection will get as wide as his shoulders.
Is that like what's the word distended or what's that called?
I mean, he's genetically he had that when he was coming up.
Okay.
He's a kind of a slightly longer torso guy.
Yes. Yeah. So
let's see if he does it again.
I want to.
You can see there, just getting a little thicker. There it is.
Yes.
So that's still about halfway. If he keeps it tight, man, he's fucking got a sharp physique. You know?
So I want to observe like as the normal dude who grew up watching this stuff. Will you coach me? So what struck me about him, and again, tell me if I'm wrong. What struck me about him was his symmetry. Like he's super symmetrical. No, like I just thought his physique, like the way he walked, like he looks even everywhere. John, am I wrong?
Well, if you look at most top 10 guys, you're going to see that. That's
I guess. Duh. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But how thick he was too, and just like I was super impressed. I was like, wow, that guy is something else.
Well,
man.
that's the argument with the midsection. As soon as he loses control, all of his symmetry fucking goes to the toilet. See, he loses a little bit right there. Still not bad. There.
Yes, I saw that. Now that you said that, yes, 100%.
Sometimes when he's just transitioning or he's walking, he'll just take a deep breath and lose it. It'll hang, and that thing will just drop out.
Hops out on the side. Yeah,
well, they're right there. Look at it. You can see even right there. He's still flexed, and it's still his waist went way wider than his hips. Way wider.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah, and Johnny,
then when he's flexing, he tightens that fucker in, so his waist is. See that? See the difference?
Yes. And
that's the hard part about bodybuilding. You got to remember, you know how much fucking food you have to eat to maintain those big muscle bellies.
Well,
he's been eating all fucking day.
That was going to be my next question. Like, how much food is this guy consuming? Like this, and what do you think? How much? What's he weigh? Probably. Could you guess?
Yeah, he's probably on stage, but but he's fucking lean though, dude. Like when he turns away,
I know. Like there's
let
no
me point out the area that shows you when he turns and walks away. Pause it right when he turns and walks away. I'll show you what I mean, but you got it right when he turns and walks. You got to pause it, and I'll show you the place where we look to see where his body fat's going right now. Okay, just above, right there.
Oh
okay?
yeah.
See just above his glute, followed up to his trunks.
Yes,
see that little fucking hollow area?
Yes.
That area is where men carry all their fat. That thing has gone inside.
Yeah, I see exactly what you're talking about.
So his oblique literally goes up and hooks to his fucking lat.
Yes.
There's no fat, zero. I mean, he gets fucking lean.
Well, and that's what struck me too. When he walked out, I was like, holy shit, this guy's got a little head on a massive body, no body fat on it. Like huge. Yeah. Just huge, man. Really cool. Thanks for breaking that down, man. That was really neat, man. That was pretty cool. Hey, coming up, Jamie Mo Crazy. Doctors wrote her a fatality report. She became the first female skier to land a double backflip in competition at the Winter X Games. And 2 years later, a crash in Whistler nearly ended her life. Johnny, her brain bled in 8 spots. Fatality report was started, and doctors did not expect the old life to come back. She's joining us this morning in about 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Myself and John coming up this morning at Mornings in the Lab. Hey, so not only is Elon launching rockets into space, but yesterday, Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin was about to launch one too. And it was a spectacular explosion that apparently was seen for miles upon miles and miles and miles. And this one, I guess shook Florida, I think is what it was. It was, let me see here. It launched during a static fire test, creating a large 322-foot rocket along the way. But this is just incredible. Like just the size of explosion that everybody saw in that Florida area. But there's a space race happening, SpaceX and Blue Origin, which is a Bezos company. Eh? So that's crazy, man. That's interesting shit.
Fireworks, babe.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I had something else here for us too. Oh, this is something I was going to drop on you yesterday, dude. Remember how a few weeks ago we talked about that military guy that went to Poly Market and bet on the war and made a bunch of money?
Yeah, the really smart guy.
Yeah, well, we got another. We got another really smart guy, former CIA official. FBI, Johnny, you're gonna love this, man. They found 303 gold bars stashed in his home worth $40 million. This David Rush.
Former CIA officer expensed gold bars, then FBI finds 303 kilos at home, plus 2M cash and 35 Rolexes.
National security meets heist movie.
So the CIA budget line item was basically totally mission critical gold, trust me. If you're stealing, don't file receipts.
What's the value here? Accountability. Power plus secrecy without oversight turns into lunacy. Also, how do you carry 300 gold bars?
So he bought these with CIA.
Like when you fucking kill somebody and the knife is all fucking covered in blood, do you fucking hide it under your mattress?
No, you put the glove on the ground and you'd say it doesn't fit later.
Well, at least that was at nighttime. He fucking couldn't find it.
Johnny,
he didn't find it and then hide it somewhere, so guarantee it'd be found.
I see you, Jamie McCrazy, joining us in the green room. Johnny, but the guy used his credit card. He's filing expenses for these things. So he was buying gold bars over time and buying like a bunch of other stuff along the way. And
so he didn't steal it.
No, he'd been buying them, and then
he bought $40 million worth of gold bars.
So apparently, so and 35 Rolexes along the way. So David Rush, former senior CIA officer, after
they don't make that kind of dough.
Well, that's part of the allegation. Where'd he get the money from? Right. So
I thought he was just fucking boosting the bars.
So he had $2 million in cash. He had gold bars worth $40 million, 35 Rolexes. And the investigators say that he filed CIA expense requests for work-related gold bars the agency could never locate. So, and then for 20 years, he fabricated Navy Reserve service while holding top. Like Johnny, for 20 some odd years, this guy fabricated a completely fake life. Just to your point before about energy going in a certain direction, eh? Like, just think about it.
And it's like, Jesus Christ, you're leaving fucking crumbs, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's just it.
Do you think the fucking animals are not going to be able to find you when you're leaving that kind of a trail?
Like, you don't think it's going to catch up somewhere along the way. Clearly, he did not think it was going to catch up along the way. Speaking about catching up.
It's like lying, knowing that you're going to get caught in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What the fuck? The concept.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. So I got a crazy WTF. I think that in about 10, 15 years, we're all going to have this issue. Hey, Kai, throw this up on the screen, man. Check this out. So there's a dude here looking down at his phone. And this might be what many, like, Johnny, look at this guy's neck. Look at his head. Like it's actually, it's like sliding down his body.
Dude, that's crazy. I actually find myself here. I literally, there's two things that I'm doing now that I'm actually, two things I'm trying to not do.
Yes.
Because I'm finding my neck, like when I go to straighten up, I can feel the fucking tightness in my upper fucking spine.
Yeah.
Two things. Number one, the phone. So when I try not to do this, I try to do this.
Yes,
right?
yes, me too.
The second thing is when I wear my fucking reading glasses, if I wear them, you wear them low, right? Yes. So I'll wear them fucking for hours, and I'm walking around like this, looking over the top of them.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm keeping my neck in this downward bent position way too long.
Well, you know what I do too? I take a page.
That's the very tip of what this motherfucker.
Yes. Yeah. I do horizontal work now more than ever. If I'm going to be doing some work on my phone, I'll lay down and hold it up so that I got a.
Try this. Try the flip side. Lay on your stomach and work here.
Oh yeah.
Then you're forced to go this, and your spine is being.
And you can do Superman's too. Yeah. That's smart. Multi habit stacking advice from John Anderson this morning.
That motherfucker, you can see he's been in that position for lengthy periods of time.
He's been there for too long of a time, actually. So that's
I'd love to see what he looks like when he stands up. Or tries to stand up.
You know what's crazy too, man? So get this. So there's a divorce trend happening, apparently, kind of in Europe, I'm going to say. It's men taking their partners skiing, John, and leaving them there.
Why?
To divorce them, or so that they get abandoned and die.
New term just hit the feed, alpine divorce. When a guy ditches his girlfriend on a hike like it's a relationship exit interview.
And it's not just memes. Reports say women were left in real danger. Now TikTok's dragging dudes. CNN made it mainstream.
So today's question, when pressure hits, do you protect your people or protect your ego and disappear? Because character shows up on the mountain.
Yeah, some dude named Thomas in Austria, Johnny, a few weeks back took a lady named Kirsten on a hiking trip, and then he left her there.
So we're talking about the intent of leaving somewhere they can't get back.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Dude, you know Dan Pena, right? That name?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm watching an interview with him and Brad Lee. I was going on Brad Lee's podcast. It's like I need to just understand Brad a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching this one with Pena, and he's talking about one of his fucking buddies who's like, he's like, yeah, so-and-so, he makes me look like a little bitch, and fucking Pena's a hard ass.
Well, I know he is. Yeah.
And Brad's all, okay, how does he look? He goes, well, he's his wives all seem to go overboard out at sea. So he doesn't divorce you, he just kills you.
Jesus Murphy, man. Well, that's happened too. People go to sea and they get tossed overboard, they go missing. But imagine going hiking with somebody, you're planning on going on a hiking trip, and then the idea of it, I can't comprehend that whole idea.
Or going for a fucking cruise with your husband. Next thing you find yourself 200 miles offshore and in fucking water with the boat going the wrong way.
Boom. Yeah. See you later, alligator.
And the cook throwing fucking meat in the water so the sharks come and get you.
Oh, jeez. Good morning. You're hanging out with Keith and Jon this morning. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Coming up, we got Jamie Mulcrazy. Doctors wrote her a fatality report. Now she's climbing Kilimanjaro. She became the first female skier to land a double backflip in competition at the Winter X Games. And then 2 years later, a crash in Whistler nearly ended her life. Hey, Sophia, I know you're ready to bring her in. You've been ready since Monday. Yes, let's bring her in. Jamie Mulcrazy, Sophia Grant, Keith Billis, John Anderson. The conversation starts right now. She has no idea what she's getting herself into. Let's get after it, team.
Everybody has a peak they're chasing, a title, a win, a version of themselves they think will finally prove it. Then life hits hard enough to take the map away. Suddenly, the old dream doesn't know your name anymore. That's when the real question shows up. Do you keep grieving the old peak or build another way up? Jamie knows that question in her bones. Before the crash, she was already doing things people called impossible. In 2013, she became the first woman to land a double backflip in X Games competition. That kind of moment can become an identity fast. You're not just an athlete anymore. You're the person who broke the ceiling. Then came Whistler, a different trick, a different mountain. One crash, and everything changed. Her brain bled in 8 spots. Her brainstem was damaged. Her right side was paralyzed. Fatality report was started. And still, this story did not end where the paperwork thought it would. 8 months later, Jamie was back on snow. Not at the top, on the bunny hill, relearning what used to be automatic. That humility is its own mountain, especially when your old life was built on flying higher than everyone else. Now she helps other brain injury survivors climb alternative peaks through Mo Crazy Strong, Alive to Thrive, and next, she's preparing for Kilimanjaro with survivors and caregivers watching. Not as proof of the old Jamie, but the new one. Jamie, welcome to the lab. It's so good to have you here.
Looking forward to this one for a few days. Her brain bled in 8 spots. Fatality report was created. And then doctors did not expect the old life to come back. But she's here. Jamie Mo Crazy with myself and John Anderson on Mornings in the Lab with Keith Jon and friends. What's up, Jamie?
Hey, how are you guys?
Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Glad to be here.
Where are you joining us from today?
I just joined and I was like, Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, welcome to the show. Hey, before we get into it, is your last name, real last name, Mo Crazy?
Yeah, that's a great question. So my nickname as a child was Mo Crazy. My birth last name was Crane Mosey. And then when I became a pro skier, they would say Jamie Crane Mosey, the Mo Crazy is now on course. And as you guys said, I was doing Mo Crazy things like double backflips and flipping off of rails. And so then my sister started the hashtag Mo Crazy Strong. Then Mo Crazy, me, was going to become strong again after my brain injury when I was in the coma in the hospital. That's when she started it. And then in 2022, I actually went back to Whistler, Canada to marry the love of my life atop the mountain that almost took my life. And I legally changed my last name to Mo Crazy. So now my stage name is my only name.
Oh, I love it. So you are a Mo Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Jamie Mo Crazy.
That is awesome. That's awesome.
That's the story. That's for sure.
That's it. And Johnny, she clearly leaned into the branding early in life when you leaned into that whole, you said stage name. So Jamie, you clearly knew there was something there with that. You understood there was value in that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it started as just a childhood nickname from my mom, actually. When I was like 2 years old, I was climbing up the drapes in our living room, and she called me her little Mo Crazy, and it just stuck. And my whole life, I was doing Mo Crazy things. It wasn't like it never really like started. I was, when I was 10, winning gymnastics state championships and skiing state championships and being very competitive and Mo Crazy. So it always just kind of fit with me. And then when it started the hashtag Mo Crazy Strong, that was actually created by my sister. So the branding just kind of developed, and then I made the choice to make it my legal last name.
See, Jamie, here's what he's having trouble with. So he's having a hard time understanding. See, your nickname was appointed to you through the way you live your life. Yeah. He's got this nickname. He calls himself the Handsome Chief, and he's the only one that seems to use that nickname. So he's trying to understand how we can get other people to adapt the nickname that nobody identifies him with.
So just call me Handsome.
I'll call you Handsome. But yeah, it was interesting how a lot of
somehow he didn't get the memo that a good nickname somebody else has to give you.
Jamie doesn't know what to say to that one. So Jamie,
but he tries really hard. So we just try really hard to play with that.
Yeah, I try really hard, Jamie. I try really hard. So Jamie, talk to us. So be honest. You were the first woman to double backflip at the X Games. Mm-hmm. Now, after that, how annoying has it been when people are like, "Hey, just be careful. Like, just be careful. Like, you maybe don't know what you're doing. Check this out, man. Double backflip at the X Games. What was that? What was that moment like when you landed? When you knew you were going to do it? And then talk about that whole experience, achieving it. successfully achieving it, talking about it, and then all the media adulation after it.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. So with my brain, with doing a double backflip, there was prior a lot of conversation about women's knees weren't strong enough. We weren't emotionally ready to do that. You know how those things happen.
Yeah.
Such horseshit.
I believed in my own personal best, which is something I had been raised with, because I had a mother who had a federal grant from the government to teach self-esteem to women. And so I just was like, I can do whatever I want to do, regardless of anything about me, like my sex. And so I just put in the habits. I set attainable goals to reach my growth goals, and then I did it. And then after my accident, which happened to be on a different double flip, an off-axis double backflip, there was a lot of people who were saying, well, this just goes to show that like women they shouldn't do double flips.
But those are the people who will never do shit.
Yeah. Yes.
And that was hard, because if you look at slope style skiers now, every girl who makes the finals does double flips, some of them multiple in their runs. So we definitely transitioned over that gap. But for a couple of years after my brain injury, there was a lot of people who were saying, well, this just goes to show. And the year after my brain injury, there was actually a young kid from Park City who he could do double flips and all sorts of things. And he was in Australia, and he was doing a 360, which is a pretty basic freestyle trick. And he caught an edge and hit his head and went into a coma that he did not wake up from. It was tragic, and it shows that, and it could happen doing any trick, and it could happen in car accidents. And so that's what I tell people. I say, if you tell me that you're never going to get in a car again, I'll tell you that I'm never going to ski again. Because it's like, you do these things in life that are dangerous. You can't live in a bubble.
Well, you know, Jamie, the people that are saying all this dumb shit, they're the ones that are not striving for greatness. So, you know, I always make the joke, and it's the truth. You know, when people are fucking talking poorly and saying all the shit, that means I'm on the right track. If nobody's got any turds to throw, it means I've become like they are.
Yeah, I agree with that. And especially like, I love my husband a lot, and I think he's an incredible person. And he does not have to put me down to feel better about himself. And so I think that's something that you don't need to put other people down or other experiences down to prove your greatness. If you really
think of it like this, Jamie, you know, the fact that you are on the receiving end of all this bullshit, it's just a clear demonstration that you've done something bigger and better. You know, it's like it's all proof, because you know, these pathetic fuckers, they don't attack their own. They only attack the people that are doing stuff that makes them fucking insecure and jealous. So it just basically, all of the stuff that you received on this just tells you how great you are.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. It's a barometer of greatness. I mean, nobody becomes great without fucking massive resistance.
And you think about it, Jamie, it's everybody out in the stands watching you are the ones that are dismissing you. Right, which is why they're in the stands, and you're the one performing all the crazy shit you were performing. Jamie, take us back to that the brain injury. You're in Whistler, and you know you have a near fatal crash. Talk about that moment. Talk about when you awaken. Are you in the hospital? Are you on the slope? Take us through that whole situation. Doctors are writing up your fatality report. Now you're here.
Yeah. So it's a situation where I know very little personally of the accident. What I mean by that is my last memories are driving up to the competition in Whistler, Canada. We had just been sponsored a new car, so we were super excited, my sister and I, to drive up there, and we had a couple of friends joining us, and then I don't remember the days around the accident, like prior, and I don't remember months after the accident.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's
so
tough.
when I woke up,
But I think flip the script on this. Just think if you could remember all this fucking terrible shit. I'll take that. Fuck, remove all the stuff I don't want to remember so I can get back to business.
Yeah, personally, I think it's lucky that I don't remember.
Exactly, 100%, 100%. Why would you ever want to remember a bunch of shit that would traumatize the hell out of you?
Yeah, my sister and my mom both remember. So they remember going into the ICU and seeing me lying in the coma. They remember hearing about it. And that's a blank slate. And when I woke up in the hospital, so when my memory was coming back, so when I first woke up, after 10 days, I had serious amnesia. I was like the movie 50 First Dates a bit, like, you know how the star was. Yeah. So that's the stage for a couple months I was in. And then my mind started to come back and stick around. And during that time, I was in inpatient rehab, and I had pictures all over my wall, and I had a hammock in my room, and my mom was living with me. And so I actually refused to believe that I was in a hospital, because I thought old people and sick people went to hospitals, and I didn't think I was old. I didn't think I was sick. So I would tell the nurses that I was in a movie about a hospital for a couple days in a row. That's what they'd be like, "Where are you?" And I'd be like, "A movie about a hospital."
Wow.
That's you thank God you're in a great state of mind. Can you imagine if you're like, I'm in fucking the dungeon or some shit? I mean, it sounds like all of this, what could have been awful with your memory stuff, kind of worked in your favor, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And I think a lot of that is kind of what your life is like prior to the brain injury.
Yes.
So I had this idea of how to set attainable goals to reach my growth goals, and this concept of performing at your own personal best. And I did that prior to my brain injury, my own personal best, to do double backflips and break world records and stuff like that. And then after my brain injury, my own personal best became being able to relearn how to walk upstairs and practicing that repetitively over and over again till I could run up 13 flights of stairs in 3 minutes and 26 seconds. And I still know that time because I would time myself. But that kind of work to do your own personal best allowed me to recover way beyond the expectations.
I think if we strip this all the way down, I love what you're saying is, with everything that you've done, you've got a will. Like, you have a will to get something done that most people don't have. You developed that over the course of your life from, the time you were climbing up the curtains at 2 years old. You had a will to get from point A to point B, and it translated into your obviously doing the amazing things you did on your skis all the way to back to learning to walk again.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, John, you say it, because I was about to ask Jamie that same question, which was like, what contributed to that will? Like, you clearly have is it like your parents? I'm making some assumptions here. Mom and dad had a lot to do with who you are today, with your will, with your resilience, with your commitment to this optimism. Like, you have a remarkable sense of optimism. Where does that come from, Jamie?
It's definitely a lot of my family, my surroundings. Like I mentioned, my mom,
the nurture for sure
from the government to teach self-esteem to women is huge. So I was a case study for her prior. Through my whole childhood. And then she actually had studied early childhood brain development and neuroplasticity. So after my brain injury, I became a case study in a way. Again, she started doing like cross-lateral movements as soon as she worked with the doctor to find out that I was able to do cross-lateral movements. So I was still in a coma when she started doing some of this stuff. And then with my recovery, things would happen like the right side of my body was paralyzed. And so she would take my strong side of my body and tape it down so that I would have to work the weak side in intermittent time periods. And that allowed my brain to rewire itself, which we know scientifically with neuroplasticity, you can rewire your synaptic connections and your brain pathways to get to the same destination. And so I just became an example of that after a critical injury. You know, my right side was paralyzed. And if she did not force me to do that, when it was really embarrassing and really challenging and really hard to, you know, I couldn't hold water with my right hand at a period of time. So to go through those steps, and it was multi-years of doing this intermittent training to be able to get my right side to work again. And if I did not have the belief that by doing things and making modifications, I could create a life I love, even if you do have permanent changes in your ability level, I know many people who have permanent changes, paralysis, things like that, who have built amazing lives because they made the choice to take what they currently had and climb alternative peaks. So, which leads to like the Kilimanjaro climb, is because it's kind of documenting this other branding concept I've had since my injury. You know, I was climbing up the mountain of life and it was looking amazing. I was traveling the world as a pro skier in my young 20s. How fun is that? Like, Europe has amazing after parties, and everything that you experience is just awesome. And then I was caught in a metaphorical avalanche that slid me down to the bottom. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, my life changed instantly. And so when I was at the bottom, I had two choices. Stay stuck at the bottom, blame all my deficits on what happened, you know, never accomplish anything else in life. I easily could have done that. I could have, you know.
Most people would have.
Turned to many different ways because my life had changed so much. All of a sudden, I was, you know, needing to take breaks, doing like little gentle walks. It was pretty humiliating. But instead of staying stuck there, I made the choice to climb an alternative peak. And every person, like everyone who's listening, has had things in their life happen unexpected that they didn't want to happen. You know, struggles, traumas, we all experience that. That's fucking life. Like that happens, you know? So when that happens, you can climb an alternative peak.
You can climb an alternative peak. We're hanging out with Jamie McCrae this morning, myself and John Anderson. And I got a clip here, just kind of taking a page from Jamie, John. You know, sometimes, you know, life deals you something. And let's run this new skill unlocked clip there, Kai. Check out these wheelchair athletes, Jamie. Like, very much no reason to sit on the couch, no reason to not be able to do anything. Like, look at this. The guy's like, I want to do extreme stuff, and somebody propels him and doing crazy shit. Jamie, I think you can relate to that, right? Because clearly the person's in a wheelchair for a reason, and many people don't do that. Some are like, no, I'm still going to get after. Jamie, when you see that, what strikes you when you see somebody getting after their dreams and goals clearly in a situation like that, Jamie?
It's amazing. I think that being able to take things that happen to you and create lives you love is a talent. And it's something that we all can do. Most people are not, you know, just born completely capable to do that. You guys mentioned that I have tons of optimism, but a lot of it is trained. It's realistic.
It's nurture. Your mom was like a major foundation of all this. There's nature and nurture. What are you given, you know, God given, and what are you developed based upon your surroundings? What you've described, I'm sure you clearly had some God-given talent, just the way that you were, you know, doing your dangerous shit in the beginning. But the way that your mom influenced you through all of this is clearly a massive part of everything you've done. I think it's fucking great because it shows that person that, you know, thinks because he wasn't born with XYZ, it tells that person to shut the fuck up and get to work.
Yeah. And there definitely is some of both sides. And I do a lot of talking about your ability to create your own luck. And there definitely is things that just happen. And in 2022, my older sister passed away from cancer. And that was tragic. And she was a doctor herself, had done all these things. And we actually thought she beat her cancer. And then due to the chemo, she relapsed with leukemia. She had a year-old baby. So she had one round of cancer. She beat it, had a baby, and then it came back. And that was tragic. So that stuff happens. However, if you are alive and you're listening to this, you have the opportunity to create many aspects of your own luck. And I think we don't give ourselves enough credit in our ability to be able to do that. We say this all happens to us for reasons, or whether we want to say it happened for a reason or it's random. But if it happened, it happened. And if you are listening to this, you can do whatever you can to create your own luck. And we have so much more power than we give ourselves credit.
You know what? My definition of luck is preparation meeting opportunity. If you're not prepared, the opportunity will slip by you. If you're always prepared, you meet the opportunity. That's the luck you're talking about. You are creating that because you are ready to seize those opportunities.
Yeah. Jamie, your optimism is absolutely incredible. But you've talked about grieving the old version of yourself. You got the physical side, you got the mental side. So what was harder in this whole thing? Was it relearning the physical stuff, or was it accepting that, Jamie 1.0 was gone?
It was definitely accepting Jamie 1.0 is gone. For
Really?
me,
Yeah.
As an athlete, when I was in the hospital and my mind came back, I was still, in a wheelchair and stuff. And I had torn my ACL multiple times, and I kind of equated my brain injury to that. I knew I could set attainable goals to reach my growth goals. And my body recovered very quickly, comparatively. And then that first winter, when I went back to skiing, I realized I had to relearn how to ski. And I had to relearn how to ride a two-wheel bike, and I had to relearn how to walk, and I had to relearn how to do every trick that I previously had done. And that takes falling. And I didn't want to fall. And so I stepped out of competing and I stepped into therapy because my life was different.
Wow. That is, that just struck me right when you said that, because learning means falling again. I didn't want to fall. Like that's Johnny. We talk about babies growing up, right? Baby walks, fall, walks, fall, walk, fall. They don't know what the hell's going on. They keep doing it. Jamie knew because she'd done it before, and then all of a sudden, like that's.
Well, it's like fuck. It's like she had to climb this fucking flight of 10,000 stairs to get where she was. Now she's like, fuck, I have to do this again. I got to fall 1,000 times to learn how to get over. It's like, fuck, I've already done this once. What a bitch. And of course, how could you not feel that way?
No shit. And Jamie, there's a lot of people that don't do it once and you do it again. So talk us through that. Talk us through accepting that you're like, I didn't want to fall. I walked into therapy. Wow. What a striking statement, Jamie.
Yeah. You have to balance failing again and what's smart to fail in. Because like I mentioned, when my mom would tape down my strong hand and I couldn't hold water without spilling it in the kitchen floor, that was failing. In a way, but I had to do it in a smart way, because if I had fallen and hit my head multiple times over and over again, learning how to ski, we know that repetitive concussions and things like that are not good for us. And my mind was more prone to be damaged at a higher level. And I had so many supporters in my family and my friends, I didn't want to put that at risk. So that led to my decision not to go back to competing. And then when I went into therapy, I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any goals. I didn't have dreams. I didn't have a future that I wanted to be building. And so it's really hard when things happen that take away your identity to refine them again. Sometimes it can be losing your job or having a divorce that can take away aspects that you thought were just going to be part of you forever. And when that happens, you have to find new ways to build a new version of yourself. So for me, that was going back to college was a huge benefit to be able to surround myself with different environments, have things that I had to do. Your teachers would assign you homework, and you have to build goals and habits when you think you can't do it. So that's what I would suggest, finding ways, joining a workout club or taking classes or doing something, maybe even like an art project or something, like book clubs, doing something that makes you accountable for your actions.
You're where you came from, your level of interest in what you were originally doing as a pro skier was fucking sky high. All of a sudden now it's like, holy shit, you have to relocate that interest. And very possibly it's never going to be that heightened because of what you're doing before. So, as you said, 1.0 was gone. Every high level athlete has to go through that. The difference is yours just was like this. Many times that goes through like a terrible decline and drug addiction and all sorts of shit as people lose 1.0. You had this clean break from 1.0 and came out and started 2.0. It's a great story.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Hey, Jamie, we got a question from the community here. Jamie, did you have a boyfriend through all of this time? Thanks, Rico.
At the beginning, no, I did not. I didn't have a boyfriend when I was competing. I actually, when I met my husband, we were friends for a year. We did nothing romantic. We were just friends. And he will tell you, I put him in the friend zone immediately, which I did. I put him in the friend zone because I wanted to see how we were as friends. And then a year later, we were actually going up to a closing day at Brighton Ski Resort. And we're sitting actually on a snowboard bench. And out of the blue, I just go, "Hey, Reggie, have you ever thought about kissing me?" And then he leans over and gives me a kiss. And very quickly, our relationship took off. And we've known each other for 9 years now, and we've been married for 4.
Jamie,
that must have been an amazing moment right there.
Yes. I just got goosebumps again.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What did I'm sure you guys talked about it. When you said this to Reggie, what went through Reggie's mind? Was he like, fucking finally, or what went through his mind?
He says nothing went through. He says that his instinct, his gut reaction was just to lean over and kiss me. And if he had thought it through and rationalized it, he definitely would not have done that because he would have been too intimidated and too scared.
Of course, the brain would have got in the way. He just needed to act. Good
so
shit.
He just did it. So he before he could think of anything.
Good job, Reggie.
It's not lost upon me that I'm looking at Betty, and she's married Reggie. We got Reggie and Betty from Archie and the comics here, which is awesome. That's a compliment, I'm telling you right now. When you told me his name was Reggie and you look like Betty, we got some awesomeness happening.
Well, just so you know, Jamie, I didn't register that was a compliment when we first said it either. So if you were confused by that, I was too. He's a little nutty now.
I'm a little nutty. Hey, Jamie, so you're going to Kilimanjaro, and it's going to be in a few weeks from this conversation. What scares you the most about that? Is it the altitude, the physical challenge, carrying the emotional weight of all these survivors watching you? And just so you know, you've done many more crazier things than I have done. I have done Kilimanjaro, so you're going to have no problem doing it. But talk to us about that. What's the biggest concern, and what route you going?
So I'm doing the Lumoshu route, and which is an 8-day route.
It's the one that I did too.
What?
I did the same one.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. We can definitely talk more about that off when this is done, but that's really exciting. What scares me the most about it is that it's not going to happen. And I have been doing a lot of training. I've been working with this place called SmartFit in Park City. That's a longevity workout place, as well as like high altitude training. So I've been sprinting at like 20,000 feet on and off to like help my VO2 and my oxygen retention and stuff. So I've been doing the training, but it's what's scary is just, it's kind of one of the first like really big events that I've done since my brain injury. I did release a multi-award winning documentary, but that's time and steps and like work, but all of a sudden it's this date to this date. And it's emotionally scary that like something's going to happen.
If I can offer the biggest thing I learned, the biggest life lesson actually I learned from the whole experience, Jamie. So Kilimanjaro metaphoric, it was a big metaphor for my divorce, because it was like this mountain that I can't see on the other side of it. And on the other side of it was Keith 1.0, right? So the biggest advice I would give you, what I learned from it, and I wear it still to this day, is pole. It's amazing what happens when you put one foot in front of the other. And it has nothing to do with speed. And John and I talk about all the time, like just getting up off the couch and walking towards the gym. And whether it's 8 days, 80 days, or 90 days, when you put one foot in front of the other, I learned so much from that stupid metaphor that I was able to succeed because I just took my time and put one foot in front of the other. And as John, I just put the reps in. And next thing you know,
when you say you're afraid it's not going to happen, what do you mean? Like you won't make it, or you won't? They won't approve you to start. What is that? I define that a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's an irrational fear, and they're definitely going to approve me to start. I'm going to do it. But why I have that fear is because for, my whole childhood, I mentioned I was very competitive. And when you ask little kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you get an answer, my answer was always, I want to be a professional athlete and I want to win the Olympics. And I loved the Olympics, and I was dead set that I was going to do whatever it took. And when I was a child, and it wasn't even positive what sport, but I was gonna win the Olympics. And then it just instantaneously, my life changed so suddenly that is an irrational fear that something's going to happen.
You know what? I think here's what just from the outside looking in, I think you need to thank that fear, because that fear is energy is driving you in a way that you wouldn't be driven without it.
I would agree.
I actually agree with you completely, which brings up another factor that when I was a little girl, like 8 years old, at gymnastics in a competition, and I was bragging about how I wasn't nervous at all, and then it was my worst floor performance, and I still remember my coach saying, "Listen, Jamie, nerves and excitement are the same in your brain. Yes. And if you don't have nerves and you don't have excitement, you cannot perform at your highest level. So you need to harness that energy. You need to harness those nerves and allow it to help you perform."
I got to tell you, that's something that, I've used it myself all the time. And it was like, because there's always that build up to whatever you're getting ready to do, and there's that part where the nerves are heightening, and it gets to a certain point, like, wait a minute, you're confusing these feelings. This is, fear and excitement are fucking twins. You just got to it's the other side of the coin. Flip it over and realize how fucking lucky you are to be going out that curtain in the next 60 seconds.
Wrap it up with Jamie Mo Crazy. Johnny, her optimism is contagious. Your attitude is contagious. I got to tell you, your energy is contagious, and you are welcome back here anytime. Jamie, before we say goodbye, where can we find you, connect with you? Where can folks engage with Jamie Mo Crazy?
Well, Instagram, Jamie Mo Crazy, JAMIEMOCRAZY. And then we do have like the Mo Crazy Strong Foundation on Instagram, and it's the Mo Crazy Strong Brain Injury Foundation on Facebook. There's a website, mocrazystrong.org. And yeah, I'd say the best way to find me is through my Instagram account. And I love to respond to stories and connect with people and stuff like that.
Awesome. Johnny, closing with Jamie?
I think you are a fantastic example of how to overcome adversity. And I think that, it sucks what happened, because obviously you were taken from that life that you worked so hard for. But, doing what you're doing now, I think you're serving a bigger purpose for humanity than you were when you were, developing the newest tricks for females. So I'd say keep it up, kid. You're rocking.
Isn't that coincidentally, Johnny, just quick before she goes, isn't that ironic though, right? Because what she was doing, Jamie 1.0, I think to your point, Jamie 2.0 is having a bigger impact on society.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. There are zero questions.
Yeah.
This is in a weird way. You could argue that this is what you were meant to do. It just took that humongous accident and visibility to gain the attention that was needed for you to do what you're doing now.
Jamie, you're an inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on. I enjoyed chatting.
Awesome. What we'll do is I'm going to drop in on LinkedIn. I would love to connect with you regarding your Killy experience and maybe have you back here to learn about it after you're done that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and Jamie Mo Crazy on LinkedIn as well.
Jamie Mo Crazy on LinkedIn as well. We're going to get her out of here. I love her optimism. John Petrocelli is coming up. We're doing a lifestyle tip reset hour 2. And we're back with John, and Keith on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. See you later, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie.
See ya.
All right, it's Friday, and I'm going to leave those of you that are doing the Thank God It's Friday alone for this Friday, because I would just be silly if I didn't take a bite off of some of the energy that just got brought to the show from our pretty amazing guests. So here's the deal. If you are still not understanding why you're forced to overcome big pieces of adversity in your life, you are missing the fucking boat. When you ask for more, when you strive for greatness, you know what you're asking for? You're asking for humongous fucking challenges. You're asking for adversity, and you have to overcome that adversity so you get better. And when you get better, you get to meet the new version of yourself on the other side of that. And guess what? When you meet that new version of you and you are better, you are developed, you are tougher, you've developed, you're sharper, you're stronger, all of the above. That's how life gets easier. You see, life is always a bitch. The question is, how fucking resilient are you to deal with it? So next time you sit there and you whine and you fucking wallow in your own shit, you say, oh, I wish this, I wish that. Well, you're just asking for fucking life to wallop you upside the head with a goddamn frying pan. And when that happens, you better be ready to fucking stand up, pull up your fucking panties and get to work, because that's what you asked for. So these lifestyle tips are all about questions, trying to get you to think. So are you still one of these poor motherfuckers that doesn't understand why adversity is being delivered to your front doorstep? Think about that. It's for you to get better because you asked for it. Rock and roll.
All right. There we are. Good job there. Kai's on the buttons. Yes. Yeah. Kai was stuck over there. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to hour 2 on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. We just got wrapped up with Jamie Mo Crazy. Yes, I called her Jamie Mo Crazy. She is crazy. She is awesome. And she is incredibly optimistic and has an energy that you need to go and discover. Go back, tune into the show here. Center stage, myself and John wrapped up with Jamie Mo Crazy. Coming up, Dr. John Petrocelli, why men believe things that are, well, just, we believe everything. We're going to have a fun conversation with Petro, and then I'm going to interview him. I'm going to interview John and John coming up right now with the deep dive. Keith, John, and John on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends.
If you're a smart man, your biggest weakness isn't being wrong. It's how hard you fight to stay wrong once you've said it out loud. Intelligence doesn't protect you from bad beliefs. It just makes you better at defending them with polished language. So why do capable men double down on a dead take, even when the facts are sitting right there? Because admitting you're wrong feels like dropping rank. Most men would rather save face than face the truth. And it shows up first in marriage. You're not protecting truth, you're protecting image. The moment your partner feels that, trust drops fast. So let's start here. What's one belief you defended past the evidence? And be honest, what were you protecting? Truth or status?
All right, we got a resident Dr. John Petrocelli. Yes. Dude, where are you right now? What?
Hey, I'm in Pittsburgh.
Yes, just casually chucking the ball into the mitt. Are you going to a game today?
No, but Sunday I'm going to a game.
Yeah.
But I'm about to be trying out with the Pirates today. They need another relief pitcher.
So you're heading to the mound after our conversation today, are you?
Yeah. And I got a new pitch I've been working on.
Oh, what is it? The bullshit pitch, or is it BS slider, or what is it?
I'm going to tell you in Mornings in the Lab Nation here. I'll share with you just part of this.
All right.
Okay. From Babe Ruth to Aaron Judge, they've never seen this pitch. They've never hit this pitch.
Okay.
Right? You've got the curveball, you got the sinker, you got the slider, the sweeper, you got all of those, right?
Yes.
All right, I can only show you part of this now. You ready?
Yes. Oh,
it's called the thumber.
Oh, off the thumb. Yeah.
Off the thumb. Yeah.
Very nice.
See if
can you actually pitch it like that?
Oh yeah, you can pitch it. I can't show you the bottom of the bottom of this grip. I can't show you the bottom of the grip, just the top.
Because that would reveal everything, wouldn't it? That would reveal everything.
Yes.
All right. So
with that top spin, what's supposed to be the outcome?
Yeah.
Well, it has no spin. That's the.
It's like a knuckleball.
Yeah, it has it just kind of floats. Even better.
So it does this
knuckleball. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to see it. You got to see it to believe it. I can't reveal it though. Once the Pirates see it today, I'll be pitching probably on Sunday. So.
Petro's going to the Pirates and pitching on Sunday.
Yeah.
So before I get into my interview with the boys, good morning, Lauren. I love you, my baby. Hey, Petro. So let's talk a little bit about why men believe things that aren't true. And then what I want to play on is this. What's the word? I'm looking for the word here. The opposition disorder. Some men, women, humans have complete opposition to something because they have such a strong belief, which is, but the sky is not blue, Keith. And they just convince Keith and John that it's not blue. Why do some people vehemently just absolutely believe their own bullshit?
Yeah, now if you're talking about people who actually believe it, not someone who's trying to be a contrarian and just take the opposite side for the fun of it. So there's always at least 12 answers to these types of questions. but I will give you my favorite 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So because there is no evidence to the extent that people actually believe their own bullshit. There's no evidence that people just want to believe something that's false, that's incorrect, right? So there's very little evidence that people are just completely irrational, right? What there is lots of evidence for is that people function as what we call a flawed rationalist. What I mean by a flawed rationalist is someone who relies on their own personal or professional experience as their only source of data, right? As their only source of information. And we know, from personal professional experience, your own experience is very difficult to argue against, but that data is often random, it's incomplete, it's inconsistent, it's often vague, ambiguous. Sometimes it's second or third hand.
And not third-party measuring it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's counter-attitudinal. It's not information. It's not data that you would care to collect and weigh accurately. So, and when you rely on your own personal and professional experience as your only source of input, you end up with a very fuzzy, kind of incomplete data set, right? Sort of relative to a more complete set of data. For example, you'd have 2 different doctors. Okay. They've had the same textbooks. They've had the same training. Maybe they've gone through the same program and, maybe they've done the same residency, they've done the whole marathon of training, right? But they come out with very different opinions for the very same patient. This is why people often go and get a second and third opinion, right? And that's because their judgments, diagnoses, prognosis, treatment are often most influenced by their own personal and professional experience, rather as opposed to something more complete like a clinical practice guideline, which is designed on the basis of thousands of physicians' experiences, not just one. So it's based on thousands of experiences. So that is a much more complete data. So people are tend to overrepresent their own experiences in their judgments. And so this is a common thing, not only with smart people, but with just about any functioning human.
So let's go here for a second. So let's use John, for example. So I would tend to believe John, who one might consider a rational, like what was the term you call rationalist?
Or a flawed rationalist?
Yeah, flawed. So John's done research or something, and he's got reps and reps and reps and reps and reps and tons of experience. Then you have three guys who've done some tests and on a bunch of random people, and sure, there's evidence there, and I respect the scientific process. Mm-hmm. But I think I'd rather believe a guy like John, who whether you call it what the word was, but he's done it over and over and over and over and over. I don't know how I couldn't believe the guy.
Well, I think the little difference is this, because I was kind of thinking about that too.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I totally hear what Petro's saying, and I think it applies perfectly to the average man. So in my case,
that's what I mean.
In my case, you know, I'm doing things that well, I mean, first off, I'm not going to sit and argue what's working for me. I'm just going to do it. Number one.
Yes.
But then when it comes down to is what I'm doing is constantly changing, because all I'm doing is following progress. So it's not like I have this belief, bam, that's it.
Yeah.
I have this belief of what's working right now. And guess what? Tomorrow it's going to be a little different. I know this. So I'm not trying to I'm not making blanket statements, trying to shove some piece of information up somebody's ass. Mm-hmm. I'm like, look, this is a fucking moving target. I've just been lucky enough to stay fairly close to the moving target for my journey. Now, what I've found works doesn't seem to correlate with a lot of what is out there, but you choose what you want to believe.
Like, there's got to be something to be said for that, Petro, isn't there? Like, just like for that whole idea, like the whole ideology, no?
Yeah, well, there's certainly variation in all things too, and I mean, the example I gave with the doctors, and even with John, or maybe people that you worked with, John, clients, you know, patients and clients, they lie, you know, they tell their doctors one thing that's that isn't true. The doctor makes a decision based on, you know, what they, you know, have
the information they were given.
Yeah. So if you work with a client, especially if you're working with someone online, you're not seeing on a daily basis, and you give them a regimen, you know, a schedule to work from, or, you know, change over certain weeks, you know, they may tell you they're following it, and hey, this thing isn't working or whatever it is, you know, but you know, the persistence.
Well, you're so correct, and that comes down to the selection process.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
so that's
the doctor's
bad.
got to deal with every fucking patient that walks in the door. If I don't think you got the character to dance with me, I'll tell you to go find a different dance partner.
Yeah. And it ultimately leads to bad data. These are the types of things, though, that if factored in to a belief. But another important factor in all of this too is there's a tendency for people to confuse their own ideas, their own opinions, and their own explanations for things with evidence.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, explanation is not evidence. so it's but it's represented mentally in the same way as like systematically, you know. Now John, in John's case, you know, he's got a lifetime of, I suspect a lifetime of persistence and, you know, pushing
data
forward,
collection, evidence of good, evidence of bad.
Yeah, exactly. So it's if you just take like 1 week and you say, okay, well, things haven't changed in the past month even, and then you take that as, okay, well, that's evidence against. No, you need another data point that might persist at it for whatever 40 years and then see what you've got. So there's a lot of incomplete data, inconsistent, that's treated as evidence, but it's not actually evidence.
What about this, Petro? I see this all the time. People want to believe what's familiar.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, yes.
Because all they, all we do is run to the familiar. So when you're explaining someone to something that's not familiar, just by the nature of the way the brains were wired, there's going to be resistance in most cases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's actually funny that there's an effect. It's called perceptual fluency, and basically the most frequent demonstrations of perceptual fluency is where people confuse familiarity with all sorts of things. It's familiar is easy. It's like I can understand it. It's familiar, and so people assume that, okay, this name or this fact, this idea, it sounds very familiar. I understand it. It must be true. Sometimes it is true. Sometimes the name that you hear, that you feel like, oh, that name sounds familiar. Sometimes that is a name of a famous person. There's this funny study that Jacoby did, many years ago that had people study names from a telephone book, just random names, and then the next day we'd give them names, some new, some that were actually studied, and a lot of those names that were studied the day before were confused for famousness because they sounded familiar. But it's easy. Anything that's easy, people tend to gravitate towards, and familiar things are relatively, at least mentally, easy to kind of construe.
Because it gives us comfort, and when we have comfort, the walls come down, right? And then when the walls come down, we're open to everything, and all of a sudden your beliefs start believing everything. So, I'm familiar with that. I'm comfortable, right? Simple as that.
I think I'd argue when you're comfortable, the walls go up. You don't want to accept what's uncomfortable.
You never thought about that, Johnny. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I never thought
you trap yourself in what's comfortable. That's why. That's why you end up with the fucking tits and the fucking Cheetos.
Yeah. And then you start believing your own bullshit. Actually, then the circle happens, doesn't it? Actually, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, that ties into the third. That ties into my third.
Which is,
so this is kind of fun because it can be both good and bad. But it's basically your self-fulfilling prophecy. So you may believe something that's not currently true, like, maybe I'm not going to pitch with the Pirates, but if maybe I believe it, maybe I can do things to make that come true, right? Maybe
that I was just dumb enough to believe. You are fucking.
Yeah, just John.
That's my starting point right there.
Petro, that's truth though. Is that not truth? Like that's got to be truth, because am I wrong?
Well, you can make things. You can make things true. Like if you contribute to, so a lot of the classic examples have to do with students who learn, or people in a factory and their performance.
Yes.
And if you just randomly split two groups and you say, okay, these are your haves and these are your have-nots. Here are your high performers, here are your low performers. And it's just randomly assigned. What will often occur is that the teacher or the instructor or the foreman is going to contribute to the performance of those individuals over time. And so the expectancy becomes true. So it's the same thing. If I think this, this person, I don't really like their attitude. They're kind of snobby. I don't really like this person. And I said, I'm not going to say hello to them when they come down the street, Well, so now I will get the behavior back from them that I expected to see.
Yes.
And I'm actually contributing to it. So that's your self-fulfilling prophecy, where you're actually contributing to something that actually becomes true. It's not true at the time.
Give a smile, receive a smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So I mean, but you have lots of. I mean, there's tons of examples of those. I mean, you've watched the movie Rudy, haven't you?
Yeah,
Rudy.
yeah,
I mean,
of course.
I was just watching a clip by Adam Sandler the other day too. He's talking about his brother. His brother believed in him. He's like, Adam Sandler was like, didn't get any laughs at all. He didn't think that the audience in his stand-up comedy was didn't really like him, but his brother kept pumping him. He's like, no, you're the best. The crowd loved you. You just need to plan a little bit more maybe next time or whatever. He believed in his brother and made Adam Sandler think that he actually had, he had this talent. And then of course, what
happened next,
the rest. So it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. It doesn't have to originate, with the self, but persistence in self-perception and social perception are very difficult to kick, even if they are wrong. Sometimes they're correct, but even if they're wrong, first impressions especially are oftentimes inaccurate, and it's very difficult to change negative first impressions. So it's a belief that's not true, that's maybe inaccurate in some way. It's very difficult. Once people believe that you're good at something, or you're competent, you're excellent, you can fall on your face, and they'll lift you back up kind of mentally. They'll make excuses for you. But as soon as they determine that you're bad, you're incompetent, your poor performance in some domain, you can walk on water, and they will say you got lucky.
As you were saying that, it's so true with society, how we cancel folks, celebrate folks, and so forth. I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind walking up to this group. Hey, Kai, throw this on the screen here. Mike on screen here. I wouldn't mind walking. You guys know how I like to celebrate Flair. Well, check these guys out. Flair and Tyson pulling some blunts on the side of the street. Like, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall during that conversation, just hanging out and pulling a couple tugs. Ric Flair and Mike Tyson just laughing away, smoking some doobies. Like, what's that conversation?
Yeah.
Oh man, Tyson's
those guys, they really, they accomplished so much over their career, both good and bad. But I think, they're in a stage now where they're just kind of celebrating life. That looks like I would love to be there.
Oh, so I would too. I would love to be hanging out with those guys. Absolutely. Hey, Kai, put some vintage up for us. We all grew up with this one as well. This ridiculous scene shows all the times when, if you guys remember Married with Children? Right, this show was nonstop people falling, and I found those little vintage thing here where it was just nonstop people falling on Mary. What a great show that was, Mary. When that show dropped on Fox, the whole world was like, "What the hell's Al Bundy, Christina Applegate?" And that was a game changing thing when that dropped on Fox News there. So. Craziness. I did have something. I'm going to run it next week. Michelle Thaler was with Rogan this week talking about time and space and time, and it's fascinating conversation because what is actually time, and nobody really knows when you think, like, what is time? Einstein said time is space, but you start thinking about it. Time is it's an interesting topic. John Petrocelli.
It's a very interesting, and time travel. I've always been a sucker for time travel.
It's fascinating.
Just the idea of it, just to think about it. I don't know.
Hey, Kai, run that clip with Michelle Thaler who cooking with us. I want to get these guys thinking about before we head into the weekend here. Guys, check this out here.
I've never heard anybody say is that all time exists currently.
That's Einstein. That goes back 120 years.
That's such a bizarre thought.
We don't know if it's true, but it's, Einstein really thought there wasn't much of a way around it because he said, okay, well, if everything is going at different velocities compared to everything else, right? It's a great question a kid can ask. How fast am I going through space? And the Earth, if you're on the equator of the Earth, that goes around at about 1,000 miles an hour, and then, we go around the sun at about 67,000 miles an hour in our orbit. The sun's going around the galaxy about 500,000 miles an hour around the galaxy. The galaxy is going towards a galactic cluster at more than 1,000,000 miles an hour. But, how fast are we going really? And the only thing you can measure is how fast are you going relative to something else. There's no answer. You know, how fast am I going? Well, I mean, am I still, or am I actually traveling close to the speed of light right now? I don't know. So Einstein said the only way he could really think about how that would work is if the universe was just one big thing. You know, all of time and space exists in a big whole thing. There's only one now. Einstein famously said, the past, present, and future are, you know, persistently annoying illusions.
The past,
now, again,
and future are annoyingly illusions. John Petrocelli, it's fascinating conversation around time, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think it's really easy to go sideways bullshitty on it too, though. So we don't know.
Well, that's why I brought it up there, because it can be all bullshit.
Yeah, but it's interesting. It's really interesting to think about.
Yeah, I'm suspecting Anderson had some of those conversations with his folks from the Monroe Institute this week when they were talking some really interesting out of the box conversations. Anderson,
we didn't really talk much about time, but we definitely had some interesting conversations.
Yeah. Wrap it up with you, boys. Anderson, what do you got going on this weekend, bro?
Let's see here. I've got Ben after this. Terry's going to do a flying lesson, so I think by the time she gets home, I'll be wrapped up with what I'm doing, and we'll probably go out, hang at the beach, and grab some sun. I'm probably going to do a little fishing, catch some bass.
Nice.
Yeah. Just enjoy so we don't have anybody here. So it's just kind of enjoying our space without entertaining.
I love it. Petro, you're playing some baseball today. What do you got going on today, bro?
Yeah, do some pitching practice today, and then go and see the Pittsburgh Pirates play the Minnesota Twins on Sunday.
Good for you. Yeah. Well, Petro and John, before you guys go.
Hey, John, before you go, there's a dance hall so dark it looks like a witness protection meetup. Then two seniors start dry humping like the rents do.
They're chest to chest and moving like they found the grind setting on a Roomba. Somebody's getting their steps in. The internet's like, this is indecent. And I'm like, buddy, that's not indecent. That's two adults doing foreplay to a slow jam.
It's giving. I paid for the whole hips. I'm using the whole hips. If this is wrong, I don't want to be right.
The caption says, don't ignore seniors' needs. Translation, grandma's got a pulse, grandpa's got a mission, and they're not asking permission.
Hey, John, what's your age limit for being horny in public? Because these two just set the bar at until death gets embarrassed.
This guy and this girl are dancing, and he's just giving it to her. Look.
Well, she looks like she's enjoying that, so good for them.
He's just giving it to her there. Some older folks are at the dance hall there, and she can't get close enough to enjoy that experience with that man there. He's just giving. Yeah, let's rub one out exactly at Charlie. I was like, Jesus, Murphy. Yeah, there you go. Boys, I didn't get to the interview, but that's okay. We'll do it. We'll do it a little differently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We'll get after it differently, boys. I appreciated our conversation today. A great week of guests. Petro, we had some fun stuff. Some fun folks in the show this week.
Excellent. Oh, today with Jamie, crazy too. That was awesome.
Her optimism was unbelievable. And John said it best, when he wrapped it up with her, like that accident, probably the best thing to happen to society because of her.
Yeah, it's definitely going to give her a bigger impact for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Darren Mott too this past week. I thought, you got to definitely have him back.
Yes.
There's at least a few volumes of what we can learn there too.
Oh man, the questions I had for him. We met after, and we had a good conversation after. So yes, I'm hoping to do some work with Darren as well. Cool.
Yeah. Hey guys, is this okay for a sign off too? I've been trying to think. Like, do I need a new sign off?
What's your sign off?
How about John, Keith? It's still your motherfucking set.
You can't fucking steal somebody else's. Jesus, Petro, you're more original than that. Come on, man. Fuck.
Anderson.
God damn it! I never fucking picked you out as a follower of that nature, Petro.
I can't come up with. I need a new sign off.
I love it.
Well, but you see, you're smart enough not to fucking do something, unlike Keith, who gave himself a goofy fucking name, and now he's stuck. You know, he's kind of forced to commit to fucking making it go over, which it never will. So you're better off just to kind of sit quietly until you figure out what you should say. Because thank God you didn't put that one on the table, and you have to make that one work. Because that would have never worked either. I'd have had to skip this fucking segment with you two. I just thought you two should be fucking weird by yourselves.
Oh, Anderson, you're the best.
Fuck. I'm leaving. The entertainment's leaving. Have a good look.
See, Anderson, I love you, man.
All right, guys.
Oh, gosh. I love you, brother. You have a good weekend. Be safe.
All right, love you guys.
Oh, Dr. John Petrocelli's got it here, man. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab. Oh, hey, Nation, how long did Petro prepare for that? Like, how long was he preparing to drop that? And then he drops it. And then Anderson, whomp. Good morning, everybody. You're hanging out with Keith Jon and Don Petrocelli this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith Jon. Friends, we get after it. Oh, my goodness, for ridiculous conversation just like that, Monday through Friday, right here on the mornings.network, the only morning network to help you guys get up and get after it. We start it every Monday to Friday, 7:30 with our boy Wonder, the toothless wonder himself, the handsome Matt. Matt Roof, 7:30, Kindness Rising, and myself and John and Petro get after it on That's it, Neiman, the hammer. Oh, he just slowly just gets to the camera and he's ready to drop his outro, and then just John, boom, just fucking eats him like a dog. Okay, I got a morning focus. I got a monologue this morning that is about stress is not a personality trait. No, stress just might be some avoidance strategy that we're going to have a little bit of a monologue that's going to happen in 57 seconds. And I got to contain myself. Let's get it going, Kai. 57 seconds. Stress isn't a personality trait. It is an avoidance strategy. That's coming up in less than a minute.
We call it stress, like it's weather. It's not. It's the noise we keep on so we don't hear the decision.
Pressure is real, but stress is the cover story. We stay frantic so nobody asks what we're actually avoiding.
We say, we're slammed. We mean, don't corner us. Stress becomes the shield that keeps hard conversations off the calendar. And the cost isn't abstract. It shows up in our sleep, our tone, our blood pressure. Our people get the leftovers. We stay busy instead of being honest. Busy feels responsible. Honest changes the room, changes the rules, changes what we can't keep doing. Our bodies don't buy the act forever. We can laugh it off, but our nervous system keeps receipts. Eventually, it demands alignment. So we get specific. We name the boundary. We own the truth we've been dodging. One clear sentence beats 1,000 stressed ones.
That's the turn. Stress is an identity. It's a warning light. Keith's about to break it down. Morning begins here.
He is toothless and proud. His name, Matt Roof, 7:30 right here on Mornings in the Lab. Matty's got a great show, guys. It's a great way to wake up. He's got great tunes, great conversation, great community that joins every single day there. I would invite you guys, if you haven't found him yet, go find Matt on Kindness Rising. He opens up the network, everything from Monday through Friday. All right, guys, stress is not a personality trait. It is an avoidance strategy. But a lot of people wear it like it is one. And they say it with pride. You know how it goes. It's like, oh, I'm just stressed. You know the person. I'm so slammed right now, or I talked about it yesterday. I am busy. Instead, they might be saying I'm just buried, or I'm overwhelmed, or I'm just running on fumes. Do you guys like me get tired of hearing people talk about that? I do. I'm like, really? We all do. I don't really need to hear that you got a lot going on. And after a while, that stress, well, becomes part of somebody's identity. It becomes the proof that you matter, proof that you're needed, proof that you're important, proof that people depend on you, proof that you're carrying something heavy. And, listen, frankly, maybe you are. Listen, maybe you are. Maybe that's exactly what you're doing, is that you're carrying all that stress. Because I know life is hard. Work is real. Family is real. The bills are real. Pressure, it's all real. No bullshitting there. And I'm not going to pretend that stress and that cortisol spike that we all get when we're stressed out is imaginary. But I will say this. Sometimes stress is not just what happens to us. Yeah. Sometimes stress is what we use to avoid something else. Think about it. How many of us avoid stress? How many of us avoid something else because of a decision? I bet you some of you today are probably going to do that. How many of you are going to avoid something else today because of a conversation, or a boundary, or a truth, a change, a grief, or a responsibility that we keep circling back but never actually face? Well, here's the thing. Stress can become an absolute smoke screen because it keeps everything blurry enough that you never, ever have to become precise. You never got to say to yourself, "Bob, this isn't working." You just chalk it up to stress. "I don't want this anymore." You just chalk it up to stress. And you say, I said yes, even though I should have said no. It's funny. Neiman and I were talking yesterday with a potential client, and we exited the call, and it was like, we're probably saying no to that one. Yeah. It's easy to say yes. Very, very easy to say yes, but probably said no. Or it's like that whole idea of I'm carrying something that is not mine, or I'm avoiding a conversation because I know it will change things. How many of you are going through that? And that's the part that people just don't like, because if stress is just something happening to you, you are off the hook. Oh, I'm just stressed. It's like we say that when we're stressed, it just takes every responsibility away from us. But here's the thing. If stress is also information, then you have to listen. And that is where we often get confused and maybe act and maybe even become intentional. Oh, we know how much intention is hard. And a lot of men, a lot of women, a lot of us in the generation that we call next would rather be stressed than clear. It's hard to be clear. It's easier to be clever. Because clarity comes with consequences. It's interesting. Been working with somebody who I had some conflict with over the last 24 hours, and I was like, clarity over clever. I can't read your mind. Oh, but I'm stressed. No, but that's the point. It's easy to say, I don't know. And I think that's the biggest reason people just don't use some of the AI tools out there, because it's hard to be clear. It's easier just to be stressed, because stress lets you delay. Hey, Neiman, I'm not going to sit down and learn ChatGPT right now, or Gemini or Perplexity, because I'm just too stressed. Really? Yeah, it's hard. Because stress just lets you say, no, not now. I'm too busy right now. I got too much going on right now. I'm not going to learn it. Yeah. I know that's exactly what happens. Stress lets you stay in motion without choosing the direction. I'll say it again. Stress lets you stay in motion without choosing direction. And then what happens? Oh, I'm busy. I'm just busy. I'm busy. No, you're not busy. You're not accomplishing. Because stress gives you that socially acceptable excuse to avoid the thing. You go to that group, you hang out with all your friends. Oh, I'm just stressed. Oh, I'm just stressed. Oh, I'm busy. Oh, I'm too overwhelmed. I'll just deal with it later. Later becomes a lifestyle. Yeah, the two L's together. Later becomes a lifestyle. We all know a lot of those laters. Living the lifestyle that we don't want. And then eventually that stress becomes the atmosphere that you live in. So you go from later becoming a lifestyle, and that becomes your life. And it's not an event. It's not a season. It's not a climate. You just start adjusting to it. Holy fuck, I've been on the couch for a few months now. Yeah. I'm now in a 39 pair of pants instead of the 33. Yeah, your family adjusts, your friends adjust, your body adjusts, your calendar adjusts, your visa adjusts. And everyone learns that you are just, I'm stressed. And then what happens is that you start getting protected from your own truth. Your mirror starts to perpetuate what you are. And people stop asking too much of you, because why? They know you're fucking stressed. And then people are like, that guy's stressed over there, so they're going to stop telling you what you need. They stop challenging you because you're already under a lot. Oh, I'm not going to go have that conversation with Jimmy right now because I know he's stressed. Really? That sounds compassionate. But it also can become very, very dangerous because now stress is not just something you feel, it's something that manages, Jimmy, it manages you. It manages your relationships. And that stress becomes a shield. And underneath it all, that shield, it's probably just fucking fear. It's fear of disappointing people. It's fear of changing your life. It's fear of making a decision. Oh, but Jimmy, I'm stressed. I'm not going to make a decision right now. It's the fear of admitting you're not happy. I'm just going through this job for the next 3 years so I can retire. Or it's fear of making the call. No, they're going to say no. They're going to say no. Yeah, they probably are. Do it again. Fear of letting go of a version of yourself that got applause for being overloaded. It's the fear that stress drives. And that is why the body, your body, my body, our body eventually gets involved because your body, it hates those fake stories. It hates when you say, I'm fine. Because you can call stress normal, but you can even laugh it off and you can say, it's just busy season right now. Hey, we all know our accountant. It's tax season right now. I'm busy. But the body you have, it keeps listening. Your sleep changes, your mood changes, your patience changes, your blood changes, your face changes, your body changes. And your ability to be present disappears. And eventually, your body says to yourself, enough. Not because it hates you, it's because it's trying to get your attention, but you're always just too fucking stressed to pay attention to it. Because stress is not always the enemy. Sometimes, nation, sometimes stress can be the messenger. And that message is you cannot keep living out of alignment and call it responsibility. You cannot keep saying yes and blaming the world for how heavy your life feels if you're always saying yes. That is a lie a lot of men tell themselves because you cannot keep pretending that pressure means purpose. Think about that. Because pressure is not always purpose. Sometimes pressure, I'm dropping truths this morning, folks. Sometimes pressure is just poor boundaries with a better story. Yeah. Sometimes pressure, that pressure you're feeling, that pressure is fear. It's even ego. And sometimes that pressure is the cost of refusing to disappoint people. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's your workers, maybe it's your own mirror. But sometimes that pressure is the cost of refusing who you were never supposed to own that much of you. Stress. So what do we do about it all? We stop romanticizing about it. We stop performing it. We stop using it as proof of importance. Stress isn't evidence. We start asking better questions. What is this stress protecting me from? What decision am I delaying right now? Where do I need a boundary in my life? Because stress, it thrives in the vagueness. It feeds on someday. It feeds on avoidance. It feeds on the stories that we tell ourselves to stay comfortable inside discomfort. So no, stress is not a personality trait. It's actually not even a badge. But yet so many of us think, oh, I'm wearing the stress of badge right now. It's the badge. I'm stressed. And I'm proud of being stressed. Oh, man. Stress isn't proof that you matter. It might be a warning. And it might even be a message. And it might be the part that still knows you were not built to live this way. And if you listen early to that stress, to your body, to what's going on, you may not have to be forced to listen later. Those accumulative decisions, right? You know that person, oh, I'm slammed right now. I'm buried. I'm running out of fumes. And after a while, that stress, it becomes the identity. Sometimes pressure, poor boundaries, better story. So as I wrap it up here today, guys, on the monologue that we call stress, stop romanticizing it. Stop using it as proof of importance and here's the invitation. Maybe start asking better questions. Maybe start asking yourself this: what is this stress protecting me from? What conversation am I avoiding because of the stress? What am I carrying that is not mine? Because in a world of AI that wants clarity, and in a world of AI that needs clarity to produce stress, that stress, it thrives in vagueness. And that freedom that you're striving for, that freedom starts in truth.
What is up, nation? We talk a lot about mental toughness, but let's be real. If Sterling and Preston can officially co-adopt a 10-week-old Chihuahua puppy and not make it weird, you grown-ass men can handle today's lineup. Picture here is living proof that you can be strong and emotionally honest. We are tearing down some midlife BS today, starting with that whole happy wife, happy life garbage. Over to you, handsome chief.
So I don't like that happy wife, happy life stuff. I get it. I understand why it's the humorous thing, but I'm not a big fan of that kind of shit, right? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the happy wife, happy life. How about just happy, happy? Why can't we both be happy? Happy husband, happy wife. Happy husband, happy life. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube, the toxic myth of happy wife, happy life. All right, let's talk about the biggest lie we've been fed. Happy wife, happy life. Well, hey, over on YouTube, Jeff Knoopel from Gen Existence drops a massive truth bomb for guys navigating midlife and marriage. He says straight up, you cannot be responsible for your partner's entire emotional state. He points out that it's not to be a dick. I agree. And ignore her feelings. It's about the presence. You show up, you care, you're kind. But her baseline contentment, not your job. No, when we try to perform our way into keeping the peace, it quietly kills the respect. I agree. So those healthy relationships, they add value to both of you. They don't need to turn you into emotional regulator. Your job, men, your job, ladies, is not to be the emotional punching bag for the person across the table from you. Stop confusing care with emotional management. Coming from Jeff Knoopel from Gen Existence. All right, moving over to Substack, the unpopular grief of losing a business. Oh man, yeah. What doesn't rhyme? It starts with joy. Oh, I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Over on Substack, we got a piece from Yana Link. We usually treat business failure like a bad poker hand. We just fold it and we play again. But Yana argues losing a business isn't a failed project. No, it's like a death in the family. We see the financial hit, but we ignore the identity collapse, the marriage, the strain, and a deep grief. And a lot of you ambitious men, a lot of you ambitious women, we carry business failure like a private wound because society tells you to just move on. Yeah, I'm with you. Happy husband, happy. Yeah, well, maybe we can make it rhyme there, Whitaker. Oh, man. So the unpopular grief of losing a business. Yeah, I was kind of looking at these, looking at this little topic here, and man, I'm thinking to myself, losing a business isn't a failure. It's like a death in the family. Yeah, it's it's and society tells you to move on. It's hard to move on when you haven't mourned what died. And if you're hiding the stress, like we've been talking about this morning, of a failed venture, admit it. Yeah, let it hurt. Just like Jamie McCrazy did, version 1 to version 2. Hey, Maya, speaking of identity collapse in relationships strain, when Sterling and Preston inevitably ruined that co-parenting relationship over this little puppy, Pitcher, who gets custody and who's going to take that emotional damage? Who's doing it, kid?
Chief, when that co-parenting agreement inevitably collapses, Preston gets the dog, and Sterling gets a one-way ticket to therapy.
He is already stressed buying organic kibble. You do not need to regulate your partner's mood, and you do not need to bury your grief when shit hits the fan.
But seriously, gentlemen, stop carrying the weight of the world like it is a badge of honor.
Say the truth out loud, then do the smallest thing. One excuse out, one action in. See you next time.
Wow, we're getting you guys out of here before the top of the third hour. That's going to be it for today's show, guys. That's it. Boom, boom, boom. We're out of here. Before we go, Let's bring this thing home. Jamie Mulcrazy, doctor's thought. Doctor's thought. She was done. Doctors wrote her fatality report. Now she's climbing Killy. We had Jamie Mulcrazy in the lab today, the first woman to land a double backflip in the X Games. Near fatal crash in Whistler, brain bleeding, coma, paralysis, doctors preparing for the worst, and now she's helping brain injury survivors climb alternative peaks. The big takeaway today was sometimes life takes away the mountain you thought you were going to climb, and you got a choice. And that does not mean you stop climbing. It means you build the next peak. And I invite you to go back and listen to that conversation we had with Jamie Mulcrazy. It was awesome. The optimism, the inspiration, the undeniable belief that you can do anything when tragedy strikes. So go check out that conversation we had with Jamie Mulcrazy. And of course, our very own, yes, we own him, Dr. John Petrocelli, the resident bullshit professor. He is awesome. He's out there in the comments right now. I think Dwayne hijacked it. Starts with Joy Live account. We had Petro in. We're talking why men believe things that ain't true. Yes, it's exactly what we talked about. What a fun conversation. And then there was a great exchange with Petro's exit and John Anderson dropping at the bottom of that. And then, of course, the monologue today was stress is not a personality trait. It is an avoidance strategy. If you got some stress today, maybe you should ask yourself, is it actually stress? Or is it just a bunch of bullshit you're telling yourself? Great question. Coming up next week, why your father never taught you about money and how to fix it. Man's financial silence, plus a bunch of other great conversations. That starts over on Monday on the big show we call Mornings in the Lab with Keith Jon and friends. 7:30 on Monday with Matt Roof. We get after at 8 o'clock. We'll see you in less than 48 hours, guys. Holy shit, less than 48 hours. I got to go. We'll see you guys. Have a good one, guys. Good time. Petro, Dwayne, Charlie, Rico, Sullivan, Maddie, the entire gang out there. Jess of the Ool, as well as Jess, as well as Pat, good Lawrence out there as well, and Pata Martin as well. I appreciate all of you guys. I'm trying to get through all the names before I get out of here, and if I missed your name, I apologize. We'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good one, everybody. Ciao.